Good afternoon, I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching, or good morning when this goes out. I seen this clip a few days ago, and it's a random leftist that I've never actually heard of before until this clip went viral over interwebs over the weekend. Oli Dugmore, I believe he used to be of the Politics Joe parish, but I think he's on Times or something, or another leftist right currently. It makes no sense. He went to university, presume. I'm much brighter than this fuckwit. It's really comical. I'm deeply embarrassed, both on behalf of my country, that is actually from the United Kingdom. The left in general, mostly I feel bad for them. I feel bad for anybody that knows him. I feel bad that he should have signed like an NDA. Sorry, not an NDA, not a non-disclosure. What's the one? We're basically, he can't sue Piers Morgan for making him look bad. One of those. A non-liability. Basically, you enter at your own risk, that sort of thing. Because it makes no sense, and he's going to be shamed for the rest of his life for this. If this is the pinnacle of the intellectual left, I'm deeply ashamed that they've ever got into power in the country. Without further ado, I'm going to play the clip.
The idea that your sort of culture, your national identity, can potentially be diluted by people of a different skin tone or indeed religious background is a pretty pathetic argument. It's a patriotism that's grounded in weakness and fragility.
If you're importing millions upon millions of people from the entire world with different values, different culture norms, different skill sets, and different ideas of what is and isn't appropriate, different religions, and an entirely different outlook in life, and you import that entire diaspora into the United Kingdom, you are inherently changing the fundamental makeup of the indigenous culture of the United Kingdom. So for Oli to turn around and say that it has no basis in fact or reality is intellectually dishonest, but I don't actually think he's that bright. I think he's that fucking dumb that he doesn't realise it's just word salad. He has no idea what he's saying. He's just trying to sound like he knows what he's talking about.
My patriotism is grounded in strength. I believe the ideas of English national identity, British national identity are pretty strong, and I'm not that worried about people
okay, let's
coming
hear
to
it.
the UK with a different idea of what that could be, coming over here and diluting it.
That's literally what it does. It dilutes something. If you've got a glass of water and you add orange juice, you've diluted the water. It is no longer water, it is a juice drink. This is basic chemistry. Alright, this is very, very basic stuff. He's saying if you have a population of people that all think a certain way, work a certain way, have a certain outlook and philosophy on life, on an island, I don't know, let's call it Britain, and then you import different people from different countries and different cultures onto that island, which we'll just call Britain, then you're not fundamentally changing what makes the country or the island what it is. Oh my... I'm much, much, much smarter than this guy. Okay, let's continue.
From Magna Carta through to now a sense of fair play unless the English are invading your country. I think we've got a pretty good solid idea of what English values.
He says that like it's a bad thing. England or Britain invading other countries, that's bad. Why? Explain to me why. I don't think it's bad. I mean, flog me. Send me to the tower. I don't think it's bad. Okay. Has to get that dig in, token lefty comment about British Empire, but okay, whatever.
As an identity are.
What are they?
I just said. I gave you a sense of civil liberty, a pride and a sense of fair play.
Okay, so a pride, a sense of fair play and civil liberties. According to Brain Trust Oli, that's what makes Britain Britain. That's what makes England England. Nothing else. Literally nothing else. Nothing to do with any achievements that we have. The Industrial Revolution, abolishing the slave trade, parliamentary democracy, rule of law. Just, nice, vague. I don't know. We're fair. We're fair-minded. Alright. Okay. And Magna Carta. and sense of decency. My sense of the United Kingdom is I want to be left alone. I don't want the government intruding on my life. I want to be left alone. Less government, the better. Less taxes, the better. The less big state, big nanny, big government telling me what to do, the better. That is my ideal country. Alright? I want to be left alone. Okay, that's my sense of what the Britain is, the United Kingdom is. And it'll be different to different people. The idea that you've got civil liberties means you can have these differences of opinion. When you import a foreign diaspora that does not think these things, does not want these things, hates us, hates our culture, hates our way of life, and this is the majority of the world, most of the world is not like the West. It bears repeating every single time. You get a random leftist nut job on the TV saying that importing the entire universe to Britain does not change what fundamentally makes Britain Britain. It bears repeating, most of the world is not like the Western world. We are a tiny part of the world. Alright?
The people who believe in Sharia law, which a large number of the Muslim community in this country do believe in and want to impose, do they believe in civil liberty?
I would say the people that want to impose Sharia law,
do they comply with English values or British values as you define?
No, I think if you want to come over and sort of overhaul the system of government in Britain, I think there's a pretty valid argument for us to say that you're probably not welcome in the country.
Okay. Very important we'll pause here because there's over 4 million Muslims in this United Kingdom. Polling suggests maybe a third of them want Sharia law. That's over 1 million. So according to the token leftist or one of the leftists on this panel, he's for mass deportation of Muslims. We are getting somewhere. Well done. He may have got there by going around the houses. We are getting somewhere. Alright? Sharia law, just like canon law in the Church of England, has no place above the law of the land. The issue is, Sharia law is done behind closed doors, and the police and the government doesn't want to look at it for fear of being called racist because of cultural sensitivities. Bullshit on that, bullshit on him. He says that, and then he goes on to say something very, very interesting in the next point, which I'm going to bring into now.
But what should we do? Should we deport you for having a disagreement about civil liberty?
If you're an insurrectionist, if you're literally saying that we should introduce corporal and capital punishment in Britain,
that's different. Right? Sharia law is different to people in the United Kingdom advocating for restoration of corporal punishments and restoration of capital punishments. The majority of Britain actually thinks that the death penalty should not have been abolished. What Oli's saying is, well, if you think that we should have the death penalty in the United Kingdom, you should be deported. He's conflating things. This is what the left always do. They conflate things. Alright? Sharia law is religious law, and it's the religious law of Islam. That's as different to advocating at the ballot box for a particular political policy, like restoration of corporal punishment, restoration of capital punishment. These are valid political arguments. He's not saying that. What he's saying here is, if you want corporal punishment, if you want capital punishments, you should be deported. That's completely fucking different.
You just want to vote for it. 33% of the Muslim community, according to some estimates, believe in Sharia law, want Sharia law in Britain. Should they be able to elect people who will advocate for that?
Constantine, you keep asking me the same question.
Well, it's a different question.
I'm going to keep giving you the same answer.
I've just said the same thing here. If you're advocating for corporal punishments, and there's enough people backing your policy, and there's enough people advocating for the restoration of capital punishment, you should be able to argue that point and argue that policy in this United Kingdom on a democratic platform and be elected on that manifesto to bring in these changes. This is what democracy is, implementing what the voters want. So if there's enough people that want these things, then yes, sure, go right ahead. This is the conflation again. We are saying, or the conversation's shifted slightly because it was originally about Sharia, and Oli's put it onto restoration of punitive punishments like the death penalty or corporal punishment. So it's slightly different. But yes, Sharia law now, advocation of capital or corporal punishments. I'm not even saying if I agree with them or not, but you should be able to advocate for them, fight your corner, win an election, and implement those policies if that's what you choose or so choose to do.
My idea of what I've just told you.
Should we deport people who want Sharia law? That's what I'm asking.
If you want to overthrow the system of government, i.e. impose Sharia law instead of secular democracy, yes, I have a ginormous problem with that.
Okay, let's pause it again here. If you want to overthrow the government and you want to impose Sharia law, you should be deported. From the leftist on the panel, or one of the leftists, Chenk's on there as well, one of the leftists on the panel. Okay, alright, he's consistent on that point. He's not particularly drilling down to whether it's native people of the United Kingdom that would advocate for the restoration of the capital and corporal punishments, or just the new arrivals who want Sharia. He's not saying that either way, but he's specific. If you want to overthrow the government, you should be deported. You have no place in Britain. Let's see what it says next.
Additionally, I have a ginormous problem with the British head of state being a religious figure in King Charles. I have a ginormous...
This has to be fake. This has to be a parody. No one can be this fucking dumb. We are parliamentary monarchy. We are constitutional monarchy. The head of state, the head of the church, is the king. He's literally said, within the breath of the same sentence, if you are for insurrection, if you want to overthrow the system of government in the United Kingdom, you should be deported. Then in the very next sentence, he turns around and says, I don't like the king, I don't like the monarchy, I don't like that we've got a theocracy in the United Kingdom, that we have a established church, and the king is the head of the church, he's the head of the judiciary, he's the head of parliament, he's the head of government, he's the head of state. He's got major problems with that. So you're going to deport yourself? Are you going to pay for your own plane ticket, son?
Problem with a permanent fixture in our legislature being religious representatives. There are only two countries in the world where that's the case. One is the UK, the other is Iran. You know, I have problems with both of those things. I want us to live in a secular democracy.
So you started this clip by saying we live in a secular democracy. You started this clip by saying that that's what we have. Now he's saying at the end of the clip, I want us to have these things. It can't be both. It's one or the other. Either we're in a secular democracy, a parliamentary monarchy, both things can be true, or we're not. He's clearly having a really, really public struggle session. It's really, really... Oh my God. I cannot believe there's people this dumb on TV. I cannot believe the stupidity I'm watching here. I'd laugh or I'd cry. It's one or the other. This is absolutely... I'm embarrassed. Mostly I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for his family.
What happens between you and the man that you think exists in the sky is your business.
So I'm going to leave that there, but oh my God. Right, I'm just going to leave that there. So what do you think to that clip? It's absolutely wild. Contradictions all over the place. Very incoherent. I'm deeply, deeply embarrassed for my country that this has actually been produced here. It's got comedy value. The actual clip has comedy value. But the actual points that he's making they make literally no sense at all. Now let me know if you think I've been polite, if I've been too critical of poor Oli, but it's absolutely... Oh God! Right, I'm going to leave this one here, but like, comment, subscribe. I will see you in the next video, but thank you for your time.